Hello, hello. I thought we could spend a few days together while I recover from being sick. So this might be a reading vlog. This might be a sick diaries. I don't know what this will be. We will see how I feel. The last 2 days I've been really sick. Today I'm feeling marginally better, but all I've been doing is reading. I thought, you know, I was planning to film a reading vlog anyway this week, so why not start filming it while I'm sick anyway. I have When the Cranes Fly South with me. I've been nervous to read this while I'm sick because I think it will make me cry and my head already hurts and I'm already congested, so I don't know if I should make that worse. But since it's a library book, I do want to read it. I also downloaded a new book on Kindle that I had on a Libby hold. I can't decide if I want to read it or not. It is the one and only Vivian Stone. So if you've read that, let me know your thoughts. The description said it was a mix between The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, both of which I enjoyed. So I think I would like the book. I'm only 3% of the way in, so not very far, but based on the very beginning, I have not been sure. Mainly because the way I feel like the romance might be written might not be for me, but I think I'm just being picky and it will be fine. But the book that I finished yesterday that I thought was so good and really surprised me because I really haven't heard anyone talking about it. I did not read this author's most popular novel, Cassandra in Reverse. It was a Reese's Book Club pick, but it did have good reviews. This is her latest and it's called I Know How This Ends. I picked it because it is a magical realism book and I love magical realism, and in this specific one the main character starts getting visions of her future, and she's recently ended a 10-year relationship that was a not good relationship, and she starts getting visions with this other man. I really liked this even though it was heavily romance, and that's not always my favorite genre. This one was done so well. I think I liked it a lot because the characters were in their mid-30s and I think the main male character was in his 40s, so it felt a little bit more mature, and the writing was really funny at times but also very real. The main character also had a very special relationship with her grandfather, and it reminded me a lot of my grandma, and I thought there were really great life lessons woven into it, but in a way that felt very light. I also loved her friend group. There was a pretty big focus on female friendship in the novel too, and I thought different phases of life for women were represented really well in it, or maybe different life paths is the word that I'm looking for there, because some were choosing to have children, some were choosing not to, some were having fertility struggles. They had a wide range of different things that females would be going through. So I thought it all felt very relatable. And this was a perfect sick week read because it was light enough that I wasn't having to use my brain too much. Like, I could not read a fantasy novel right now. I could not read nonfiction right now. That is just not going to work for the way that my brain is feeling. So I feel like I might be taking a risk with this one. I've also debated doing, I have The Correspondent on Kindle and I've been wanting to read that for such a long time and I have not started it yet, so that was my other choice. And I don't know. This is gonna sound silly, but I always feel good when I can return a library book early or return something to Libby early, because I feel like I'm letting someone else get to read it sooner. For new releases, for older books, I'm like, oh, I don't think anyone's checking that out. But when it's a newer release, then I feel good when I can send it back in. I don't know though, we'll see. I think I'm gonna start this. And I gotta get Freddie to scoot over. He's taking up half the chair. Or we might move to the couch soon because I might need to lay down. That was probably the most energy I've exerted in the last 48 hours doing that little talk. Very good. Let's read. Ouch. Oh, this was translated from a Swedish version. I didn't realize this was a translated novel. Yep. Very cool. I've been trying to read more translated novels. I also didn't explain what this was about because I did talk about it in my last video when I went to the library and got it. But if you did not see that video, it is about a aging man and his dog. He has a home care team, and his son, who he has a rocky relationship with, is starting to think that he can no longer care for his dog. And any book about a dog, I think, is just guaranteed to make you cry. Especially me, because I'll cry when I'm thinking about Freddie and Gigi just like on a random Monday morning. Even tears of joy or tears of sadness if I think about the future. But we don't do that too often. Do we? No. You guys are both living forever and ever. You see his little head. Well, I only made it about 20 minutes before I fell asleep, but I woke up and decided I probably needed to try to get something to eat today. So we are walking to get a smoothie. I feel like smoothies and soup are the only things that usually sound good whenever I'm sick. And it also feels very nice to be outside and getting some fresh air. Okay, the smoothie has been acquired. I ordered it to go, so I was just in and out of there. I don't have a fever or anything, and I think I am nearing the end of my sickness, but I did not want you to think that I was going about town spreading my germs. It's also very good. I got the strawberries and cream, which is their special for this month. I'm taking a reading break. I'm really worried this book is going to be too sad for me, but I'm 66 pages in, so we will keep going. And Tyler brought me a Greek yogurt. We're going to split it. Hello, I had a nice little rest day today. I was planning on filming a reset because I did actually finally spend 1 hour putting the house back together. I feel like when you're sick, the house gets so bad looking and it was driving me nuts. So I told myself I can do 1 hour. I drank 1/4 of a Celsius. The house looks much better. That was all the energy I had though. I was like, I can't film this or I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't do that. And we have a reading update from last night. I finished When the Cranes Fly South in 1 day and it was very emotional. I cried a lot. I can see why this is a 5-star read for a lot of people. It won Book of the Year in Sweden. I think because of how difficult it was to read at times for me, just because of how real it felt, it maybe would be a 4 or 4.5 star read, but I did really enjoy it. If you like reading to escape, I would not recommend this. It was really incredible though. Gut-wrenching. It made you think about aging and the loss of agency that can happen as you get older. I read in the back that the author, I think this was her first novel, her debut novel, which is wild because it was really great. But she is a doctoral student in sociology researching masculinity norms in rural communities of the Swedish far north. And the idea for the novel came from the discovery of notes her grandfather's care team left the family as he neared the end of his life. Throughout the novel, there are notes from the care team. Can you see? Like these little notes are sprinkled throughout, and that really really helps with how real it feels. And you can also see some of the research that I feel like she's probably doing with her work in masculinity norms coming through, because there will be little bits about paternal leave or male contraception sprinkled throughout the novel. And I found that to be really interesting. And I love when authors can incorporate important themes in a more subtle way throughout the books. So I appreciated that a lot. I think if the main story had not been about the dog, I could have given this 5 stars. That was just so hard to read. But I did really like how it addressed... Sorry, I'm not feeling well still, so I feel like I keep forgetting my thoughts. I really liked how it addressed relationships that specifically men, but I think in general people might have with their fathers, and how the norms for that have changed over time. It reminded me a lot of, not my dad in particular, my dad, I'm very lucky, he is an angel. It reminded me like a lot of the stereotypical man that you would find maybe like in my hometown too, especially older men. And I think in the end, there was a lot of healing that was happening. And so it was kind of like a bittersweet novel. So if you're in the right headspace, then I would say to read this, but it might just hit you really hard. Tyler was like, why are you reading that when you're sick? Like, you already don't feel good. So why are you reading something that's going to make you feel worse? And it's like, that's an excellent point. I don't know. I just wanted to read this and get it back to the library. I am also extra and was Googling if it was okay to read a library book when you're sick, because I didn't want to spread germs. It says it's totally fine. You just need to wait like 1 to 3 days to return it. I don't think that I'm contagious or anything, but I will make sure that I do that before dropping it off. I'm excited to drop it off though, because I did not go in that Friends of the Library bookstore when I went on my library trip. So I was like, when I drop this off, maybe I can go in there. There were also 2 books that I put on hold at the library, because when I was looking at all of the books that I got, I felt like I had a really good theme going for a spring curriculum. I don't want anything too structured for that, because if something's really structured or feels forced, I know that I won't do it and I won't find enjoyment in it. But since I had a good theme going on, I wanted to get 2 more books and create a loose theme for my learning for the spring. Now for what I'm reading next, I did start I can't even think of what it's called. Vivian Fox Stone. I don't know what it was called. I started the novel that I shared on Kindle. I'm still unsure about it. I'm like 20% in. I think it feels like a good bedtime novel. It doesn't seem like it has as powerful of writing as Evelyn Hugo, but I can definitely see how it has maybe similar vibes. I think there's some insta love going on between some of the characters, and that maybe always turns me off a little bit. Okay, I'm talking too much. Enough about that. We'll see where I land. But right now, I just got Writers and Lovers available on my Libby, and so I think that I might start that. I am really excited to start my next Lily King novel. This one is a signed copy, and I was so happy when I found it in the bookstore. I like being able to read on an e-reader and with the hard copy, so I need to read that in the next 20 days. But I had also very briefly started the Harper Lee, The Land of Sweet Forever. I feel like I'm finally feeling a little bit better in my brain to be able to do nonfiction. So I might do this because this one's due back first. But I don't know, so many good books, and I felt so bad during the day today. I had the worst headache ever. I feel like most of my cold symptoms are gone. It's just a headache now. But tonight I'm like feeling okay, and that feels so good. We're ordering goop for dinner. I'm still not up for cooking. I am missing cooking and Pilates so much. I think tomorrow, hopefully, will be the day that I can get back to one or both of those things. But for now, I am waiting on my goop to arrive, and I might do a little journaling. I'm gonna do a little reading. Be a nice cozy night. show you what we got. We are splitting the turkey bolognese. That one's like okay, it's fine to split. I probably wouldn't get it as my main. I got something new and I went pretty rogue on this. I'll show Tyler's first. He gets the Mediterranean bowl, which is very good. You see? I would recommend this one. I don't know if I'd recommend mine. I'll have to tell you later. I got the chili bowl, which is funny because I really don't eat chili because beans kind of hurt my stomach. But we are taking a risk because I wanted soup. And mine has this like little tray, bento box, where I can make my own chili toppings and a little sweet potato. And the sweet potato looks good. And then I have a tiny bowl of chili. So I'm glad we're splitting the bolognese because I feel like this chili is kind of little. My little chili. So that is dinner tonight. I don't know if you're supposed to eat this cabbage in the chili or by itself. It's kind of like a cabbage. The chili is quite good, pretty spicy, so I will not be adding the jalapenos. I'm going to add some of the Hook's aged cheddar, I believe is what it is. I don't know about pickled onion, maybe a few. I really don't think you would add this in chili, that seems very weird. Then I'll eat my little sweet potato. Yum. Okay, this was a weird order. Great news, there is a new show on Apple TV based on a book that I read and I didn't realize it was out yet, so we now have plans for the night. Margo's got money trouble. It's trouble or problem. I get that confused every time, but I really like that book. It was very funny and unique and original, and now we get to watch the show together. We are finally back and feeling much better. So it is time to go return my book to the public library and pick up the ones I have on hold. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I also got a few spots on my face lasered today. I had a few dark spots and my dermatologist did a touch-up from my last laser for me. So this is your reminder. Sorry, I paused. It was very loud, but this is your reminder to wear your sunscreen because the place I had the most dark spots was on the left side of my face, and my dermatologist said that that is where the sun is most likely to hit you when you're driving. And also when we're putting on sunscreen, a lot of times we forget to go like all the way over there, which I had clearly done. I do that laser mainly because it is good for preventing skin cancer, and I went to tanning beds like every day, which is really bad, but I did when I was in high school. So I have a lot of sun damage on my face, and skin cancer runs in my family, so we're trying to do that. But the laser also does, I think, skin tightening and skin brightening. I had one spot like there on my cheek, biopsied last summer. Yes, and everything was okay, but also a reminder to do your annual skin checks. I have mine coming up in July. I'm also very winded because I was just walking up a steep hill. Okay, now back to the nice relaxing library walk. we could come down and see the ocean before we head back home. Hello, we are back from the library, and I don't want to talk too much about what I got because I think it would be very fun to do a spring curriculum or spring learning vlog about the different topics I'm planning to learn more about this season, and these would probably all be in that, but I will show you what we picked up. The two books I had on hold are by Rebecca Solnit, I don't know how to say her last name, but they're both nonfiction. One is a field guide to getting lost, and it is about losing oneself in the pleasures of an experience, about wandering and being lost, and about the uses of the unknown. And then Orwell's Roses, which is an interesting look at George Orwell, but from a unique perspective. And then this one wasn't on hold, I just saw it and wanted it, but now I kind of want to buy it because I feel like I'm going to highlight it a lot and take a lot of notes. But it is Margaret Atwood's Writing with Intent, and it is a collection of essays, reviews, and personal prose. So that is what we have brought home. Hopefully I can do that video if we're interested in it. Actually, I'll probably do it either way because it sounds fun to me. Maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. And an update on Lily King, writers and lovers. You guys, I love Lily King. Lily King's writing style is my absolute favorite. I love it so much already. I feel like I would read whatever she wrote. I don't care what the plot is. I just love her writing. It feels so authentic and genuine and slightly witty. It is the best realistic dialogue. I am liking this one specifically because it's about a 31-year-old who has moved back to Massachusetts after a love affair ended badly, and she has not given up on this dream that she has to be a writer, even though everyone she sees around her is taking a more practical approach to their life, and she notices all of the artists that she started out with for chasing this dream, they're going to law school or getting married and moving away, but she's still in pursuit of this even though she is struggling to pay the bills. She's grieving the loss of her mother. It seems like there might be another man entering the picture. I'm not really sure where that one is going to go. I was just reading an interview that Lily King did when this novel came out, and I think one of the reasons it feels so authentic is it seems like there is a lot of her own lived experience in this book. She wrote this novel because it's a book that she wished that she had in her 20s or 30s when she was a struggling writer, and in one of the opening scenes, it seems to be drawn directly from her journal because in the book, she has her landlord, she walks his dog in the morning, she's always kind of like looking messy, she has to squeeze in a few hours of writing before she goes to work her shift at a restaurant, and he looks at her and he's like, so you're writing a novel? Oh, so you really think that you have something to say? And that was a real interaction she had when she was living in a storage room in a carriage house that her sister and her boyfriend were renting by their landlord. And I love when main characters in a book are artists or authors because I feel like you can really feel their experience coming through in that a lot of the time. And one of the other things that she was saying in the article that I really liked, the reason behind why she wrote this is because when she was in high school, she was talking about how all of the novels she was required to read were written by men except for 2 short stories. And then when she went to college, it was the same thing. And when she graduated, she was poring over works of young artists that had been struggling, that had then made it, and they all happened to be written by men. So she was like, where is this work created by women? And that was also one of her inspirations for writing this. So I loved that. I love it so far. Hopefully I'll finish it next week, except I also never want to read her novels too fast because they're so good and eventually I won't have any more to read. If you have any authors that have a writing style similar to her, let me know because she's just so good. I feel like Elizabeth Strout kind of does, and I really like her, so I'll have that to fall back on once I'm done. I think I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you for spending my sick week with me. I am so happy that I'm back to feeling more like myself, and I will see you next week.